right. Um, this is Qualbear Khan, and welcome to my Injustice Gods Among Us tier list in the year 2022. I really like this game. I think it's very broken, but also a lot of fun because there's a lot of depth and layers of all these characters that there's so much to lab and so many things to find out. And I have found out a lot about these characters, played them all, liked a few, not liked so many, and just found things that I just really like. So I'm gonna make a tier list about them based off of how I think they will perform in a competitive setting. I know this is pretty outdated because like this game is so old, but I don't care. So we're gonna start off with the characters listed in order, just because that's how it is made. We got Aquaman. Aquaman is cream of the crop. Arguably, well, not even arguably, he's probably like top 5 to top 3. He just has a lot of good tools. He's got counter zoning. He's got mainline zoning with his From the Deep, which also combo launches from full screen and anywhere else. He's got Trident Rush with amazing chip damage. He's got mix up with his low scoop, which also combos meteorously, and his 4-1-3 overhead string. He has water shield, which negates all projectiles, and he can meter burn it to basically keep himself safe. He's also armored in that time. So many good utility tools. Yes, he has some cool little cross up gimmicks with like his jump 3 after a certain knockdown. He has range with 4-2, 4-2 grab, back 1-2. His sweep, his down 2 is amazing for anti-airs. He has a lot of combo pathing because he has so many combo tools like back 1-2, back 1-2 from the deep into back 1-2 again into meter burn from the deep, 2-2 low scoop, and then 4-2 grab for like 40%. Pretty easy. And even with background bounces, he can get like 45% because he just has a lot of combos. He has a slow overhead with back 2, but that's always cancelable into Trident Rush or back 2 low scoop, or just it has a lot of range, so gotta be careful with that. Water of Life is really good in this game for against most characters. I know against Zod, if he gets grabbed by the Parademon or Phantom Demon, I think he can still use it to get out the combo, because like if the Parademon grabs him, he like gets grabbed, he takes damage, and he falls away, or he breaks away from it after a certain time. I don't think Water of Life saves him there. I can't remember. Oh well, like I said, just things to always lab and figure out. But yeah, he has a lot of winning matchups. He does really good. He's solid, really defensive play style and offensive. So he kind of just does it all. So yeah, I think he's in the A tier. Well, I mean, I guess this is A tier, or I guess S tier. Sorry. S, I mean, this is just like the names for it, but this is like S. Purple's A. Orange is like B. This yellow orange is like C, and then yellow is like D. So yeah. Next up, we got my favorite character in this game, no matter what, is Ares. Very cool aesthetic, very cool. Just cool in general. I just like the way he's presented, and this is like the comic book version, so makes it all the more better. I think when you look at his tools, he's a very like not like a basic character, but he's kind of like gimmicky, and like you gotta like know when to poke out of his pressure, because like his down 1 to low sword, that's not really a thing. And like honestly, any combo string into low sword isn't really a thing. Any combo string into Godsmack, even with meter burn, you can always like jump back, or like I think you can actually dash under it sometimes too if he does a close version. His teleport's really good though. When you meter burn it, like almost instant recovery. You can get combos off of it, and well, continue combos off of it too. But and he does pretty good against some matchups. Like he has some um, what do you say? Like I guess like decent zoning with like his dark energy fireball thing. It becomes overhead when you meter burn it, and it's like +4 on block if it's like up close. Or I know it's safe or advantage. Um, he doesn't really have like a lot of special moves. He has like an invisibility thing, which is kind of weird, you know. Like I didn't really think of him to have like that type of power, but I mean, YOLO. Um, Godsmack's a really cool move, unblockable combo launcher when you meter burn it, but it also has armor too, and it kind of not like OTGs, but you can actually good some setups with it. Um, but overall, I think when he fights against most of the cast, he's still lacking in terms of like uh well, he's not lacking. He can get behind some zoning with his teleports, and he can kind of zone back. But his range isn't really that good. His back 1-3 is like his best neutral tool, the little elbow into the punch type of move. He has some 50/50s, but again, they're kind of interruptible. Like his stand 3 down 2, it's a mid into overhead. You can do stand 3 into low sword. You can do what is it? Well, it doesn't really count, but like back 2 is his overhead elbow strike again. You can do back 2 into low sword or back 2 into overhead sword. Again, it's those are like pseudo mix-ups. They're not like really real. So if he's like an unorthodox character, he has like a lot of gimmicks. But if I don't think he's like, I think he's viable for sure. I think I'll just put him in an unorthodox character list, but he's gonna be like at the very bottom, like borderline viable unorthodox. But overall, a very fun character. A lot of cool combos, lots of damage too. He does a lot of damage in the corner with his 4-2-3 loops, and just has some cool setups. He's just really cool. Shout out to Mr. Aquaman and Nicholas. And yeah, moving on. We got Bane, Banester, Santa Prisca. I think he's a really strong character in this game because of the fact that a lot of characters in this game have armored moves, and level 3 Venom, just yellow swag it, is like really strong because like Cyborg's grapple, um, Doomsday's trait, Lex's trait, Solomon Grundy's special moves have armor. Superman breaks armor, but that's a different story. Bane has some good checks and ways to like stop other people's like not unstoppable moves, but like hard to punish moves, like Martian Manhunter. If he makes the right read, he can like double punch the overhead teleport. Um, Lobo's hook charge, I think it only does well if he baits out the hook charge. He can just armor through the charge part, but not the actual hook slam thing. Um, he basically Bane does like a lot of good things against single hit moves that are hard to punish. But if it's like double hitting moves, like Batman's dual batarang, Batgirl's cartwheel, Deathstroke's I guess sword flip, I guess Flash obviously is a bad matchup. Um, who else has like two hitting moves? Not Killer Frost. Uh, but yeah, I guess Nightwing too with his like little staff spin. Like a lot of like multi-hitting moves that hit fast and break armor, Bane is gonna do bad against because he only has one hit armor. But I think against most of the cast he does pretty well. I think he's like top 10, 15-ish. But I'm gonna put him at the honest. Well, I wouldn't say he's an honest character, but maybe I should just make it to like letters. Honestly, that might just make it easier. We'll just do letters. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think like names work out for this one because it's like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, my bad. We'll just make it to letters. S A, and then B. We'll do C tier and then like D tier. Yeah, this just makes more sense. I don't know why I even thought about that in the first place, but yeah, I think Bane's like a good B tier character, like right in the middle of the pack for like everyone else. And we'll move on to let me just talk about Bane a little bit more for a little bit more context. His meter burn uppercut, it is I think it's -8 on block, and it's an overhead when he meter burns it. And I want to say, yeah, I think it is -8 or like maybe safe. I can't really remember. I should have checked some of the characters before I did this tier list, but whatever. Um, he has a lot of tick throws with his back 2-3, back 2, down 1, down 2. A lot of tick throws. Back 1-1 tick throw. His body splash is really good. It can cross up and he can still continue his combo. Double punch is super annoying. It's like way faster than his elbow drop in Injustice 2. And he can always kind of like do like a little mind game with like his down 1, which hits low, or like his overhead double punch. So always kind of fun. He's a really fun character too, and good dash and good movement, but always be careful with his trait, because on cooldown he is just bad, man. And like his also with his trait, it increases the damage on his interactables too, so always gotta be careful with that. You don't want to give him a good stage where he can throw stuff at you. But I think overall Bane does fine in this game, which is kind of weird because I think in Injustice 2, I think I had him like at C tier or something, but that's only because he can't play the game that well. But in this game, just because of the fact that there are ways to get past interactable. I mean, there are ways to get past interactables too in Injustice 2, but in this game, it just seems more like meta, at least like at the time when people were playing it. So Bane just kind of fit the game better in this one than he did in Injustice 2, and mostly because he had double punch. The meter burn uppercut was a safe on block type of tool thing, or like a pseudo mind game, because sometimes it would cross up on meter burn. Even though he has like most of the same moves returning from Injustice 1 and Injustice 2, I think he does better in Injustice 1, in my opinion. Also, his command grab is way cooler. We'll go to Batgirl, I guess, since we have to. Probably top 2 in this game. Although I don't really know the Batgirl Aquaman matchup, but I think Aquaman's better than her. But I'm just gonna go with the consensus and just say Batgirl's top 2. Just so many good things about her. Like her. Oh, sorry. Move my mic for a second. Her strings are. Well, it's just all about the vortex. I was looking through some of her strings. They're all kind of pointless except for obviously when you use back 2, up 3, back 2, down 3, back 1, 2, which is the low starter. Basically, all of our starters are basically. Hold on, wait. Let me stop myself. So I think the back 1, 2 is like -5 or -4. The back 2, up 3, which is the overhead into high launcher, is -7 or 8. And then the back 2 low, back 2 down 3, which is the overhead low, is like -9 or something. So there are ways to punish it, but half the time they're not going to leave it alone, or they might stagger the first hit. So it's always a guess with Batgirl, and even when you do guess correctly, you probably aren't gonna punish her for anything more than like a down 1 into a special move, because most of the time, not many characters have a fast enough jab that reaches far enough to hit her and fast enough to punish her string. So you just gotta guess right, and then just maybe just push block and just hopefully make a right read. In terms of like neutral, she basically uses cartwheel, flying bat, which is like a 5-frame reversal because it's like 6-frame startup, which is crazy. And it like DPs too, so it can kind of anti-air as well. The cartwheel hits twice, and you can end it by holding up for the high version, which is plus on block. I think it's like +2 or 3. I think the cartwheel is like 11 or 10-frame startup. It's pretty fast basically. The low version's unsafe. The overhead version is also unsafe, but it's always a guess. The cartwheel just breaks armor. It anti-airs too. Like it hits you out the air. It's just so good. The smoke bomb tracks you, leaves you for a full combo when you meter burn it. You can also do it in the air for like instant air stuff if you want to like punish someone doing an interactable. And usually like 99% of the time, the interactable will whiff, or not whiff, but like the smoke bomb will win the trade. So that's always good. Her back forward one, the little bola projectile, obviously restands, resets the combo. Also, combo counter resets when you whiff a button, so that just leaves her for more vortex possibilities. She's just really good. She really can't get zoned out. She doesn't really have to zone because again, teleport stuff. The little Batavate thing when she like flies backwards, she has like different options off of those. That's not really useful except for like the little overhead one, which you can use in the corner to like you know cross up someone on knockdown. Um, Obviously her damage is insane in the corner with like 54% combos. Not that hard of an execution from what I've done. Like I've hit the combo pretty consistently. I might get like 52%, but you know it just depends. Her mid screen combos are kind of limited. She might get like 32%, but again, you don't really want to do combos. You just want to vortex and mix the opponent up as many times as you can. And most of the time, she doesn't really need meter except for like meter burn, smoke bomb, and like flying bat. So and like I said, her bola, or I didn't say it before, but her bola is a meterless restand combo tool projectile thing. So she doesn't need meter half the time. So she's pretty meter happy to just use whatever. So she can just kind of play YOLO if you want to be like the Sonic Fox person, or you can just play really vortexy. But yeah, that's just it. She's just crazy good. Batman. We'll go to Batman. I think he's A tier. It's pretty obvious. A lot of the things from Injustice 2 was in Injustice 1, except for the dual bats, which were like plus 20 or something on block when you meter burn it. Like, oh my god. Basically guaranteed free jump. Not guaranteed, but free jump in afterwards because he's so plus. Mechanical bats, his trait still annoying as ever. The only thing different about him in this game is that he had more combo paths off of his 113, which you could do meter burn back, just regular back three off of. Cross up game is still the same with his own vortex, a little bit more meter intensive because he has to use the grapple to reset you and then get his flying bat out, not flying bat, mechanical bat out to keep vortexing you and mixing you. But I think he does really well against most of the characters. He has he doesn't really do good against full screen zoners, even though like the dual bat or the double bats do like a lot of damage when he throws them out. And he can meter burn at any time he wants. He just doesn't do good against like full screen zoners or whatnot. If he has to get checked full screen or even like mid screen, he might struggle because again he has T-Rex arms, not the best range. Typical Batman stuff. But once he gets in, he's got plus frames off of 1-2 and like staggers with back 1-1, back 2-3 is a really good string. 4-2-3, great mid string into like his double knee thing. So he always has ways to find himself to get himself up close and personal, but just be careful on not be careful, but just let me just stop. Batman's a good character. Darth Arma, Forever King, Rio, those are some cool Batman players to watch, so love to see it. We're gonna move on. I'm trying to make this pretty quick if I can. Black Adam, I think he was really strong when the game first came out, but then they normalized him, as some people would say, and I think he's still strong. I think he's I think in this game, well, I would say like in Injustice 2, I think Black Adam would be above Batman, but for this game I think he's right below him, and they're pretty close, so it's not like it's like that big of a deal. Black Adam has plus strings off of his back 2-3. It's like plus 3, so he gets like a down 1 check or lightning hand check. he has a lot more damaging combos in this game, like black magic combos meterlessly off the ground. You can do a full back three off of it. Low lightning was like had like more push black. I said push block, not push block. Had more, yeah, it had more push block when you blocked it low. Obviously, I think it was like -12, like from full screen. So he could sometimes get like a black magic check. His dive kick was like plus on block as well when you meter burn it, and also it could also cross up in some situations as it hits overhead. He doesn't have a lot of like range moves. Like he doesn't have forward 1, 2. He's like a like 9 frame high advancing strike string, so he has to rely on back 2, his like little overhead strike for range, and also his I guess back 1. I think it was like +4 on block in this game. The back 1 knee strike, and like I guess forward 2, which is like his like leg kick. But again, he kind of doesn't really have to play neutral because of his dive kick, black magic, lightning hands, stuff like that. But he's kind of like, I guess like this game isn't really about like, I mean, obviously every fighting game is about spacing, but like in this game, there's not like a whole lot of characters that have like crazy long range normals that like matter to Black Adam, because he's like a good counter zoner for like most of the cast, like Aquaman, Superman. I don't know about Deathstroke, but I guess Green Arrow. But yeah, for the most part, Black Adam just does well all around, solid character. Oh yeah, I think in this game his trait, it actually does like physical, not like, so it does unblockable damage, but it also does like not like hit stun damage, but like it hits you, like let's say for example Lex has his armored trait out. If as long as Lex is blocking, he will keep his trait because it doesn't go away on block. But if Black Adam uses his trait, the little 3 lightning orbs, and then Lex uses his trait and he lets go of block, the lightning orbs will take those hits of armor from Lex's trait, and then he can continue his combo, or he could break his armor basically. So yeah, Black Adam's really good. There's not much else to say. He's actually pretty fun in this game. I actually like him in this game because of his combo routes, because you can do like full screen, no, not mid screen combos with black magic without having to meter burn it all the time. So it's always cool. Catwoman, I think for the most part she's pretty much like the same, except for that she has cat claws in this game, which were like a -7 on block combo launcher rather than like those rising claws things that she has in Injustice 2. She still has the same crazy jump to backdash, crazy hitbox or no hitbox thing, but she doesn't have her back to mid, which like advances her. That little back to mid from Injustice 2. She has her forward 1 is an overhead starter, and she has a low starter with back 1, so she has some cool mix-ups ish. Well, not mix-up, but like she has a mix-up from like her jump 2 range. If you block the jump 2, then you have to eat either the back 1 low or the forward 1 overhead. So also she has like some cool combos too. Like she can do like a back 3 into meter burn, not meter burn. I keep saying meter burn. A back 3 into 4-3, and like her 4-3 was different in this game. It like launched her in the air. It did like 2 hits, but like she could continue her combo from like basically a back 3 and a half of a forward 3. I guess I should say. I think she's pretty strong. I don't think a lot of people use her besides 16-bit and like Nicholas from like competitive days. I think she's really strong though. I might put her top of B, edge of A. I'll just put her top of B for right now. She has good ways to break armor with cat claws, obviously. Crazy like no hitbox thing. Her backdash is amazing. I think she was an acrobat character, so she wasn't the best at using interactables. All she could do is just jump off of them, which I guess in her case, kind of like playing hit and run, doing as much damage as you can while you're trying to run away and dodge projectiles and such is pretty good. Her trait, little cat scratches, is pretty good too. Great damage. I don't think she could meter burn it in this game for like plus frames, but she was just hard to hit because of her low hitbox and just really hit and run play style. So if you couldn't get her into full screen and she got too close, then that's kind of GG's. She could always just do like down one cat claws and be like relatively safe on block and just, do whatever she wants. I think that's kind of it for Catwoman. There's not really much else to say. I think I might be missing something. Oh yeah, Cat Dash. It was armored in this game when you meter burned it. Also, it was also a meterless launcher too. It was like if it was like a grounded combo, she could do like let's say forward 1-1-2 into like Cat Dash. It would stun you. You would go to the ground, then you would do a back 3, 4-3, 1-1-2 whip attack. So really really strong character. I think Armor Cat Dash was pretty annoying. I don't know. I think I might just keep her at top of B because we're gonna move on pretty quickly. I don't want to make this too long. Cyborg, I think he's a C tier character. I know his instant air fireballs are like really crazy. Shout out to Relax State. But other than that, he doesn't really have a whole lot going for him. His own trait kind of sucks where he gets like health back because honestly, I don't know why they have. I mean, I know why, but like not like a lot of moves that give you health back in this game are not that good compared to like later on in RS games. Like in Justice 2, you had Swamp Thing. He would get a lot of health back. I guess Enchantress could stop her health from going down with her little shield thing. What else give you health back in Injustice 2? Oh man. Well, who cares? I don't care. But yeah, like getting health back as like your trait doesn't really like I mean, it makes sense, but like he has to like stand there and like hold it to get health back. But what Cyborg wants to do is, continuously move, go away with his grapple and like zone with his Nova Blaster. He didn't have his like low sweep thing in this game, so all he had was the overhead rockets, pretty cool like little setup things. His command grab, Tendo tackle still kind of sucked. His 113 actually restood in this game, and he could always get like a dash in or a dash canceled disruptor or sonic fist. No, only the disruptor part, and do like a little mix up. But he doesn't really have any overheads. He only has like 1-2 back 2, which is just the low string in it, and then back 2-1 or back 2-3-1, which is just the low starter. So his strings are kind of not that good. I think they're just better characters that do what he does way better. Like in terms of like full screen zoning presence, I don't think Cyborg's really like there. But if you just want to play someone different, he's got it. He's got some good damage though, with his corner combos with the power fist into the meter burn disruptor part. Cool combos there. But other than that, he's pretty limited in like the combo routes. His zoning isn't really. If you can't do his instant airs, then he's kind of like really limited because he doesn't have the downward Nova Blaster in this game. He only has the wait, did he? No, he doesn't. Because the back forward quarter circle back in this game is the power fist. So yeah, he only has the straight fireball and the air straight fireball. That's it. When you meter burn it, it does go downward, but that's kind of it. So yeah, I don't think he's really that good in this game. I think he's just barely above trash tier. I mean, I might put him in trash tier honestly because there's not much else about him. Does he have any saving graces that make me not want to put him down here? I guess if you can do his instant airs, that's like, I mean, he doesn't have one of the most damaging projectiles with the Nova Blaster, so I guess that's something. We're gonna move on though. We got Deathstroke. I think Deathstroke is like right at the cusp of S tier. I think he's really good. His sword flip is like a 6-frame startup reversal tool. It's just so fast, hits you out the air. His gunshots are really fast too. He can punish Aquamans from the deep from certain ranges with the quick shots. It's like 13 or 11 or like 12 frame startup on his like guns. He has, reliable damage with his 3-2-3 into 4-2-3 sword flip. So he has some damage. His 4-3 would cross up a lot after certain knockdowns if you did like a little setup thing. So He could play some close up game, but mostly he would just want to. Mostly he is your typical shoot, 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 bang, 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 full screen stuff. Not much else really to say about him. He just had a lot of fast hitting projectiles, fast hitting reversals of his sword flip and everything. His wake ups were pretty dangerous, or not dangerous, but like risky for him because obviously if you block the sword flip, you get punished. It's like hella punishable, but at certain situations, you can actually get away from certain combo setups or things like that with the sword flip. So it's just a risk thing. Maybe, yeah, I think he's still better than Batman just because of that full screen presence and how quickly he can get his zoning going. That's kind of it, honestly. I'm not really missing much, am I? His strings are his trait's kind of lame. It makes his gunshots unblockable even from his strings, but it only lasts like 3 seconds, and it has like a 20-second cooldown. It feels like maybe like 15 seconds. I don't know. No one, I don't really think anyone uses the trait anyway, so I wouldn't really use it. It's one of the worst ones. Yeah, the gunshot becomes unblockable, but you only have time for like one gunshot if you're doing it full screen, and that's if they block it. And then when it's on cooldown, all your shots miss, even from like your combo string. So it's like, what's the point? So yeah, I don't know. His trait kind of sets him back, but you don't want to use it anyway. I think he is good on his own without it, and that's kind of it. He doesn't really. I mean, he has combo launchers from like his back one up to. I said before 3-2-3, and I guess 1-3-2 also combo launches too. But whatever. No one cares about that string. Doomsday. You're a B tier, kind of at the bottom of B tier. Basically, down one shoulder charge, down one earth shaker. Just that's the whole game plan. Oh man. He has some. He's just all that. Honestly, he has no combos, barely. I mean, I saw that one video with like Dark Lord in it, where he did like a whole combo showcase of Dark Side, not Dark Side, freaking Doomsday. That was pretty cool. Love that video. But for the most part, you're not really gonna be able to get combos with this character. When you meter burn the Earth Shake, it does launch him in the air, but you have to do it. You mostly have to do it down two to get the back three off of it, and which will scale your damage. So you only get like 29 or 28% anyway. He has some pseudo mix up with like his 2-2 grab string into 2-2 Earth Shake. He is +6 off of his meter burn Venom charge, so it almost, not really, but somewhat guarantees his down one to Earth Shake if it's in the corner. He has the corpse hop tech where he can reverse your wake ups in the corner, so that's always something. His trait kind of bails him out of getting comboed, but it kind of leaves him grounded to where if he gets staggered by like a multi-hitting string and he can't punish it in time, then he's kind of stuck. His strings are kind of not that useful. Like, I guess 1-2-3 is okay. You can kind of get like a little meterless combo in the corner, and sometimes get like a shoulder charge mid screen. His 3-3 is like +10 on block, huge gap. But you can use like 3 Earth Shake or 3 3-3 if you want. His down one has some good range, down 3 has some good range. That's kind of it. He has a body splash as well as Bane, but I guess he has some utility. Like his Earth Shake can break armor if it hits. I've seen instances of where the overhead to the low part will hit, but the low part only hits low, and if the person that's using a meter burn back 3 is like armored or something, it will whiff sometimes. Like if it's like a floating character that like does like a back 3 and then like they're like lifted into the air, kind of like Martian or like Green Lantern, or it just whiffs. So I don't know. Who knows? I think Doomsday does better if you don't know the matchup, but if you do know the matchup and you know how to potentially, block the 2-frame overhead into low Earth Shake, then he doesn't really have much else. Because if you can block it, then there's not much else he can do besides, he doesn't have a command grab. He doesn't have, good 50-50s. I don't think he has a low starter either, so he's kind of limited. But if he can get going, he can get going. He's a train wreck. I think Green Arrow is like the top of C tier. I think he's strong, but he has like a one gimmick play style because if you play him any other type of way, he's not gonna do that well. And kind of like Quan Chi from like MK9, he wants to save up his bar to use his super, which is unblockable, and kind of like reset you for like another combo damage for like 50%. So Green Arrow style is just to zone you out, build enough bar. He doesn't need meter to zone you unless he wants to do Savage Blast. So he always has weight because his character trait is basically his zoning tool. He has fire arrows, electric arrows, and ice arrows. The ice arrow will freeze you, put you back to the ground, and then get you a free combo launch. The fire ones do the most damage and has some good chip damage on it, and electric ones kind of extend combos, but you don't really see that too often. But yeah, Green Arrow just wants to stay up his bar, get his super, hopefully hit you with a freeze arrow, reset the combo, and then hit you with that unblockable, and then bam, you're done, 50% gone. But if he can't do that, if he has to use his bar for anything else, which he really shouldn't need to, besides for like his slide and like the Savage Blast, that's kind of it. His best string is probably 4-2 down 1-3. It's a mid low to overhead string. He could do his mid low into low arrow, or mid into overhead arrow. I guess I don't know. It's kind of like whatever. His mid screen combos are not that good. He might get like 30% or like 28, 29%, but they're pretty limited. He gets better combo damage in the corner anyway, like most characters. So that's kind of really it. I know Chris G, Costner, Sunio play this character a lot, so shout outs to them. But yeah, he's kind of like he's like a one trick pony. Just zone you, build bar, use super, and then hopefully do it again. At least twice in a match to at least win. So there's not really much else to say about him. He does have an overhead off his back too, but he doesn't really get a launcher. He doesn't really get a launch from it unless it's in the corner of his back too. It's a little sky arrow thing where it explodes and then he gets a launch or whatever. So that's kind of it. Green Lantern. Is he better than Doomsday? I don't think so. Well, I guess he. Oh yeah, I guess so. We'll just say that there. I never really I like Green Lantern as like a character like in the comics, but like in Injustice series, I think he's kind of boring. No offense to you, Huang Phoenix. The cool thing about Green Lantern in this game is that, well, I guess he has an Injustice 2 as well. When he does like his like little ring lift move, the second time he does it for like a combo ender, it can OTG into his back one low string. So the back 1-3 will launch him again, and then you can get like another combo. That's pretty cool. It's like not like a pseudo OTG. I think it is real. I haven't really played Green Lantern that much. So we'll just see. I might do like some more, labbing and such, but for the most part, I think he does really good in this game. Well, not really good. I think he does fair in this game. There's not much that's like really broken about him, because he has like a lot of gaps in his strings into his like little special moves. Like let's for example, he does back 1-3 into rocket. You can interrupt that. Back 1-3 to machine gun. I think I don't know the setup for the machine gun. I didn't really check. But he has the meter burn. It's like make himself safe. So if you have like a fast reversal like flying bat or like sword flip, you can always punish him if he does back 1-3 into the little machine gun thing. He does have like 2 combo launchers if it's rocket and force lift obviously. So he's never out of combo material. He probably just needs like more, what do you call it? In my opinion, I think he just needs like he can kind of zone with his rockets. Not the big rockets, but the OA rockets, the back forward one. He can kind of zone, and he can kind of keep himself safe with the machine gun. The little turbine thing is like a nice little movement tool to help him get like cross ups with his jump 3 or something like that, or forward three, I guess. But yeah, his forward three is pretty fast. But other than that, he's a pretty basic character. You know, not much else to say about him. His trait kind of just enhances his special moves for more combo damage. So that's kind of it for Green Lantern. I keep saying Green Arrow. Harley, I think I'll put her at D tier. Unfortunately, even though her projectiles are pretty good and she recovers pretty fast from them, they don't do a whole lot of damage, and she just gets out damaged in like the zoning game for most against most characters. Her trait is really unreliable. It's like a three-way RNG thing. Her silly slide is pretty goofy. You can like cancel it into like her little tantrum stance. Did I say tantrum stance? Is that right? The little cartwheel, not the cartwheel part. Well, she has a cartwheel off of it, but you know, I think it is tantrum stance. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Um, her strings are Harley Quinn's strings are kind of not the greatest. I mean, she has like 4-2-2 for like a little low into high into like her. It has like an OS to it where like the second part won't come out unless unless it's on hit. So that's kind of cool. She has a back two, yeah, back two overhead. So she has like a low overhead thing. There's not really much else to say about Harley Quinn. She, like I said, she just loses against most characters because of the fact that she gets out damaged in the zoning game. She gets out damaged in the combo game for the most part. She doesn't really have a lot of setup tools to like get herself, you know, like more damage, because her only combo route is from her tantrum stance into cartwheel into back three, you know, jump two, back 1-2-1, gunshot. Her cupcakes are overheads when you meet her in them, and then just regular version too. So they're pretty good, but they're just better characters than her in this game. Unfortunately, I think she does a lot better in Justice 2 because a lot more characters kind of like fit the meta, and she fits the meta better in Injustice 2 than she does in this game. I'm gonna move on pretty fast here to Hawkgirl. I might put her above Ares. I hate to do that, but I think it's true. We'll just put her here. I think the thing with like Hawkgirl, she's like the most weirdest character in this game. I think her and Zatanna are like the most complex characters in this game. Like I've never seen anyone play them like that. Like, you know, Pimp 'em Jim and Dag and Darkfire. But yeah, this character's freaking crazy. Like freaking Mace Charge, the prototype to the Timranian charge from Injustice 2 for Starfire is just crazy, dude. It's just like she's always, I mean, she doesn't always have to be in the air, but like her air game is like really good. Little mace throw projectiles are kind of but she can meter burn it to like charge herself towards you. Sometimes it'll whiff on the diagonal one in the air, so you gotta be careful on that. Her down two has some great range, as I've noticed in one of my other videos with my collaborator, It's Just Q. Shout out to him. Shout out to It's Just Q on his YouTube channel. She has some cool combos. She has some meaty damage in the corner, like 45, 44, 46% damage, 50% damage combos. Her little wing evade where she like flies back and then she can do like different moves from it. If she can do like a little dive kick thing, she can do like a little overhead strike. That dive kick one's pretty crazy. It's like -1 on block. Her trait lets her fly, kind of like Spectral Ermac from like MKX. She has like some more moves from it, like a little kick, like a full screen kick, a little dive bomb for down three in the air, and like, you know, other stuff like that. So she's never out of it when it comes to combos. And meter wise, she doesn't really need meter, I should say, because most of her combos come from the wing evade, you know, overhead strike into like 1-2-3 back three, you know, jump two, mace charge. She really only needs meter to like extend her combos for like even more damage. Like if she does like meter burn, mace charge in the corner, she can do like down one into 4-1-3, 4-1-3, standing 3-4, mace charge again for like 45%. It's like really good. So she's pretty meter happy. I guess you can use her meter for like I said, mace charge, maybe the mace throws. That's kind of it though. She has some pretty crazy strings like back 2-3, little mace hit into overhead strike. Um, Ford one's like 6 frame startup, but it has like really bad range. It's like like T-Rex arm stuff. But yeah, crazy character, needs a lot of labbing, but she's pretty fun overall. Moving on quickly to Killer Frost. I think she's a good B tier character. I'll put her like right above Doomsday. Her like little black ice slide is like -4 on block, so it's completely safe. It moves her like mid screen, so it's a good mobility tool. She has some full screen presence with her little ice pillar things, and little ice sword projectile. So she has some ways to zone and counter zone. Her command grab is mostly used for like resets for her vortex game, which is her back one low sword, which has good range, and also her 4-3, which is like 19 frame startup, extremely fast, and also has a good range too. So she plays the vortex game. She has an air dash, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Very cool character, no pun intended. Her trait, I see the use of it, but I don't really think she needs it. I mean, she needs it, but like she doesn't need it to win. Basically, it basically allows her, like when she fully charges up her trait, she can suspend the character in the air for gravity combos longer because it freezes them as they're getting hit. So if she does her up 3, she could do like maybe like 6 or 8 times, and then she could do her the rest of her combo string into like more damage for like 45 or 40%, whatever. But yeah, the only thing that kind of like sets her apart from everyone else is that she doesn't really have the greatest range besides her back one and her 4-3 and maybe like her stand 2 and stand 2-2-3 and like stand 3. Her 1-1 strings are kind of She has some slow strings from like her back one, or not back one, back 2 and like 4-2. They're kind of slow, and I don't really know the purpose of them. But mainly she's all about getting in, using her slide, and just vortexing you to death. There are ways to beat her slide, even though it's -4. You can meet her and back 3 it, like armor through it. You can jump back and hit her, I suppose, because I think there is a hitbox on the top of it where it can't hit you if you try to neutral jump it, so just be careful on that. But other than that, pretty solid character. I'm actually surprised I saw her in top 8 from EVO 2013. Lex Luthor. I think I really thought he was like strong in this game, but honestly, after some deep diving, I think he's only like subpar. I might put him here actually, because the thing with Lex, like even though he's technically a setup, he's like one of my favorite setup characters in this game. Every time he has to do something, he has to basically call in something like his little orbs, the little landmine, and the satellite thing, the little unblockable. He has to call those in, and then they shoot out something. It's not like an instant projectile like Deathstroke or Ares or whatever. He has to set up something to get his zoning going, and that could be bad because of the fact that, well, I mean, if like, let's say it's, I don't know the actual frame data, but like if he's going against Deathstroke or even like Zod, and he has to keep throwing out his orbs, even though they don't go away on block or hit, they come out. Like once they come out, they come out. Once he has to take so much time to do that, he could lose like 10% or 11% from projectile damage really quickly. So when it comes to like a full screen thing, if he doesn't get like the first hit, or if he can't set up his stuff, then he's kind of stuck. Core charge is pretty funny, 6 frame charge move, hilarious. His jump 3 is crazy. Freaking axe thing hits like 3/4 of the screen. It's insane. His trait's pretty good. It has like a really short cooldown. I think it's like gone after like 6 seconds after you use it. So it's really cool. A really good move. Armor through his moves, little vacuum combo extender. With great range as well. His buttons are pretty rangy, I guess, like 2-2, 2-1, 1-1-2, 1-1-3. So he has some moves. He also has like a back 2 and 4-2 overhead. They're both overheads, I want to say, and they both lead in the combos. And also back 1-3, it's like a low string. So he has like some mix-ups, I guess. But mainly his game is to like set up his stuff and then zone you out. But if he can't set him up and he can't zone you, then he kind of stinks. He has some slow buttons. Like his stand one's like 13, like it's like 10 or like 12 frames or something. It's pretty slow. His down one's pretty slow too. His down three is pretty good though, like hella range. But like I said, he's not like gimmicks, but like he's again a one trick pony. If he can't get his stuff going, then he just can't win. Moving on quickly to Lobo. I think I might put him below Bane. Lobo's a fun character, dude. He's just so much fun, but I don't think he's really that good in this game, and it's not because like he doesn't fit this game's aesthetic. It's just I don't think he can zone. Well, I don't think he can handle zoning the same way some of these other characters do, and they do it better. Like Lobo's hook charge hits overhead, has armor on it, but it's kind of slow for the armor to get up on the startup. So if it doesn't come out, then he gets hit out of it. Um, his trait increases his damage on shotgun attacks. So like his projectile shotgun, his super, his shotgun and the super move that he has. Some of his other moves, like 2-1-3 and 4-2-1-3. Yeah, 4-2-1-3. Those all have like caveats to the special move or character trait. But for the most part, uh, Lobo's kind of like not like one dimensional. He's kind of like a charge in and just do whatever he wants type of character. He has a crazy command grab, which is kind of funny looking, but I like it. He has some great damage though, so that's what sets him apart from everyone else. Like he has some good damage. Like he'll eat you for like 40% plus combos every time he touches you if he can. In terms of mix-ups, he doesn't really have that because he doesn't really have like an overhead starter. He has, I mean, I guess he does. It's back two, up one, but I mean that's like way too slow. And he has back 1-2, which is like a low string. Oh yeah, the back 1-2 is actually +4 on block. He also has an extension with back 1-2 grab or 1+2. He also has 1-2, 1+2 as well for like a little juggle thing. And his stand 3 has some good range too. Stand 3 into low whip, which is a mid to low, or stand 3 into overhead charge, mid to overhead. So he has some good tick throws too, like down 2, down 1, 2-1, and stand 2. But other than that, Lobo's just kind of like there. I mean, he's not there. Obviously, he's a really fun character, but unfortunately, like he does better than other characters because of the fact that he has like some good mobility, good damage, and just good all around movement with like his forward dash and his jumping attacks with his like party crasher thing. If only he had like a more better full screen zoning presence, he would probably like way better. But I think B tier is good enough for him right now. Okay, Martian, no question, best character in the game. I'm not even going to talk about him. We already know. Nightwing. I'm just kidding about Martian. I'll get to Martian last. Nightwing's an interesting person. I might skip Nightwing because I'm not going to skip him, obviously, but like I think he's on the cusp of A. But I'll put him at B tier. I might put him below Catwoman. Ooh, should I do that? Below Catwoman? No, I'll put him above Catwoman, and here's why. So Nightwing's like a good counter zoner because he has like his like little low spark ground pound thing with his staff, with both his staff stances, the charisma and the staff of Grayson thing. He has a full screen presence with them because they track full screen. Well, the charisma one has a little projectile that travels the screen, but the ground pound from the staff tracks the opponent and it hits low. And it also combo launches in the corner and does good chip damage as well. His staff has amazing range. He's like the only character in this game that has like range like that, but his movement is really limited because he can't jump all the way high enough to like, grab interactables and stuff like that. So he has to constantly switch stances to get the optimal strat going. But yeah, Nightwing kind of plays a little bit like Aquaman, just a little bit more finessey. He has some good he has a good full screen presence. He has good chip damage of his staff spin moves. His strings in the staff version are long range, long hitting, always a knockdown with like a one, like stand one, back one is like a high into mid. Stand one, forward one is like a high or like mid to low. Stand one down to It's like an overhead. You know those strings. They basically knock you down. Another mix-up's coming, stuff like that. In his a charisma stance, he has a quick back two overhead, which leads into a launcher. He can also cancel his strings into his other variation, his other stance to continue his combos as well. His like little dive bomb thing and the charisma thing is pretty cool. I think it's I can't remember if it's safe on block. I know it just launches I know it launches mid screen and also in the corner when he hits it on meter burn. His like little staff barrage thing, it launches both on non meter burn and meter burn versions, so that's pretty cool. His wingdings, where he goes in the air and he does wingdings are pretty cool too. Good zoning option as well. It hits really good on the screen in terms of like presence, so he always has a way to counter zone and kind of like get around other people's zoning and also get in as well. He has some good movement with his dash ins and things like that. So fast character. Combos are pretty damaging for the most part, I guess. Like 30%, 20%. I mean, I guess it's like somewhat high damage. I don't really know. I need more time with Nightwing. But I think he's a solid character all around. I might put him at A tier, but we'll see how the rest of the tiers go out. Raven, I'll put her above Cyborg. I don't really think she fits this game all that well. Like, she's cool by design, but like, she's kind of like Grodd in Injustice 2, where if she doesn't have trait, then she's really limited. Like, by herself, without it, she has a standard slow projectile. She has Soul Crush, which is a pretty cool, mid check. She plays a spacing game, which is fine. But in Injustice 2, full screen zoning is like the way to go. And the only time she gets full screen pressure is in her Demon Stance trait. So if she can't, I mean, she gets it pretty often in a match, but it has some recovery time after she activates it. Like she has to do it after a knockdown in order to set it up, and then she can get going. Because a little singularity gravity pull thing, it pulls you in full screen mid, a full screen mid attack, and then she gets a free combo launcher, and stuff like that. And she has some good damage. She has like some beefy 40% combos. But her main problem is that her strings are kind of suspect. Like her 1/1 strings are kind of Her back 2/3 is pretty good though. It's like a little advancing mid string. Her 4/2/2. Wait, did I say back one? I meant to say back 2/3 on that first part. Her advancing mids are like 4/2/2/2/2, I think. That's like her main combo extender and, combo string, whatever. But she doesn't really have much else. Her jump-ins are kind of Her damage is really good though, but she just plays a spacing game and not the zoning game. Unless she has Demon Stance, where she has like little pillars and full screen singularity thing. Scorpion D tier, pretty obvious. Not much of a threat. Shazam, C tier, probably right here in between these two. Shazam has some cool tick throws of his command grab. And he also has like a low crouch grab too. Ooh, sorry. But Shazam is so cool in this game. I just wish that his projectile was better. Like that freaking bolt of Zeus is so slow and it's so bad. The torpedo move is fine. You can like somewhat cross up with it with the the meals inside of it. But man, I just wish Shazam was better. Like if they just gave him like more mobility in the air and like messed around with like his projectiles some, I think he would be really strong, and you would definitely see more of it. Oh well, he's just right there. Like I said, his tick throws were like down 1, 2-2, stand 2. I want to say. Down 2 is also another tick throw. 4-2-2-3, I believe, has a tick throw as well. And the thing is, I think it's like where if the 4-2-2 hits, he gets a guaranteed command grab afterwards. If the 4-2-2-3 is blocked, he also gets a tick throw off that too. So it's a pretty decent mind game there. Okay, now here's a controversial one. I think Sinestro is top. It's like S tier in this game. but on the one caveat that he has to get his trait out first. So he kind of like plays like Doctor Fate in Injustice 2, where he has like fast angled projectiles that will hit you full screen, but will also whiff if you get too close. So you gotta be careful. But unlike Doctor Fate, he has some good range of his back one string. His forward two down 1-3 string has a nice little ender on it. If it sends you full screen too. Um, he's all about his special moves, like the little what do you call it? It's a little trap move. I forgot the little. Oh yeah, the shackles. Um, the shackles will track the opponent, restand them, and extend his combos. Even though it might scale it, but you can always just do like his little cross up things. If it's jump two into little air axe or like his jump three cross up. So he's pretty. He has like a pseudo vortex in a way. Like I said, his projectile game is crazy, and when you have his full trait going, you really can't punish him unless you like time your, unless you can armor through both his own attacks and the trait, you know, uh, blasting. If you can like armor through it, then you might be able to beat it. But at that time, he's already recovered, and he can probably just block it anyway. So basically, he can extend his combos with the trait. He can also silence you from pressing any buttons with his trait. He can just do so much with it, but that's only if he gets it. If you don't allow him to get it, then he's not exactly that good. I mean, he can still zone with his meter burn fear blast, but if he can't get his trait going, then he's not as good as the other. He's still good, but he's not in the S tier basically. Like he would be like A tier, but once he has trait, he's really strong. So I think for the most part, I might keep him here, but I don't know yet. I might just keep him here. This is my list anyway. Oh man, Grundy, I wish you were so good. Man, Grundy is so much fun. He is the coolest character in this game in terms of like not like graphical design, but like just in terms of like the amount of layers and diversity and just how much thought was put into Grundy. Unfortunately, though, he is D tier. He gets spanked by armor breaking characters. He gets spanked by aerial mobility characters. He has no ways to counter zone it besides the swamp hands and his own freaking super. So and I guess corpse corpse walks is somewhat helpful in this matchups, but no. He just can't contest with zoners and aerial characters, and that's just the bottom line. He has a lot of tick throws like stand 1-1-1-2, down 1, down 2, forward 1-2, forward 1-3, back 2-3, stand 3-2 tick throws as well. He has a lot of tick throws with his command grab character trait. The character trait gives him a buff to either his own damage, his raw damage, the damage he takes, and also the chip damage he takes. So he can. I just love seeing that type of stuff because it's like, dang, he's taking so much damage where he's not taking that much damage. Oh wait, that chip damage is like 0. Like what gives, you know? It's that trait, and he keeps it for the entire match. Like he can choose to keep whichever one he wants for the rest of the game. So he doesn't have to like change him if he doesn't want to. He can like. And like those that trait doesn't go away on hit or block either. He keeps it forever. So he can be a dangerous character. He just really shouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't lose to Grundy, but like you just gotta be, you just gotta know what you're doing against him. Because if you don't, he's gonna hit you pretty hard. Superman. Pretty obvious. I think Superman's still strong. I'll put him above Batman. Only because he has a better aerial zoning game with his air lasers, more so than Batman's stupid anti-air bat in this game. It's pretty slow. Even the hitbox is pretty crazy when you meter burn it. Superman was probably the most infamous, undisputed champion of this game before the DLC came out and before he got normalized. He was definitely top one, obviously, but I think he's still strong in this game. 4-2-3 breath, still powerful as ever. That's all you ever really need for this game and for this character. I think Flash is it's weird me it's weird of me saying like Flash is like top five so easily because I want to try it with all my might to make him like not that good, but I think he is just that good. Flash is just insane. You just the lightning charge is just so fast. The freaking the way he can punish your moves with lightning charge, and then he has this mix ups with down one two and then four two one the overhead, and his down one strings are lows. It's just it's insane, dude. Flash is just so fast. High damage combos of his trait. Projectile immunity when he goes and does like a little shift or shake thing. He just has it. It's just crazy, man. The only thing that sets him apart is getting zoned out. But even then, one touch and that's it, man. One touch, a bar, and a dream, and super. They're gonna finish this up pretty quickly. Joker, Joker, you're like right here. Joker unfortunately just doesn't really play this game as well as these other characters either. I mean, they don't have Joker just I think I didn't realize this before, but his little flower thing that sprays goop juice or like poison, or I said poison on them, or acid. It's like 10 frame startup. It is also like +5 on hit, so you could theoretically hit them again if they weren't paying attention, which is kind of funny. It also resands too, which is weird. I didn't realize that until I played him, but not much has changed about Joker. He's still the same old, same old. So since no one cares about him, we'll just leave him there. Wonder Woman. I think she's better than Black Adam. She may be better than Batman. I don't know about that one though. Kind of like Nightwing. I haven't really fully explored Wonder Woman yet because of her two stances. All I know is that her sword stance has like some crazy corner combos, like the 1-1 back one. I think you can do like 4 times before the combo ends. It's crazy. She has some plus unblock OTG setups of her dive bomb, which is completely unnecessary. Like she needs to just not. She has some good plus strings like her back 1-1 and standing 3-3. They're both plus on block. I want to say I can't remember how plus, but she has some good mid strings like back 1-1-3 and 2-2 2-3 and then 3-3. They're just all over the place. It's crazy. And yeah, Wonder Woman is just a really solid character. Meteorless launchers of her, back 1-3 and like her, her stuff. Again, like most characters, I think she does better than others, but the fact that she can't have like a full screen zoning presence is hurting her because her tiara is way too long arm recovery. Like if it whiffs, that's it, bro. You're done. Like you can like go to like a different dimension and still punish her. Um, Wonder Woman. What does she have? Well, yeah, I guess she has like her back two last little thing, and back to 3. But she's just a good solid character, good frame data. Crazy cross up of her 4-3 setup I saw one time when I uploaded it. It was like wow. And we'll get to Zatanna. I think she's really good. Honestly, I don't know why I don't see people putting her like in top 10. But I think the reason for that is because Zatanna, even though she has teleports, which means she can't get zoned out, she has good projectiles with the rings and little trance thing, and even like her own trait, even though it's not that good in like a narrative setting, it has apples and oranges, so there's no way to really compare what Zatanna does to like Deathstroke or Cabal or even like Daisy. But it's just like Zatanna is just so unorthodox. Like she doesn't play this game in a traditional setting. Yeah, she zones. She has good chip damage with her multi kicks and like her dive kick's really good, but like she has some crazy mix up with her levitate combos. I honestly just don't know where to put her. I think if it's like a trade thing, like if she's zoning full screen and it's like a trade war, she'll probably lose because the rings do take some startup going. Also, the rings are overhead, so we meter run them, by the way. And also the regular trance thing will reverse your wake ups for about 2 seconds or so, maybe 1.5. So gotta be careful on the trance thing when she does it. But I can't really think of a reason why I should put her in A tier. I think it's just because of the fact that if she gets zoned out, which she shouldn't be able to, she's a Zatanna, she's magic. I don't know. I need some more research done on her because I know she's really good. It's just that her execution is just what sets her apart. I guess that's probably why her execution is so high that no one plays her because she's just really hard. But she's still a good character, no doubt in my mind. But lastly, we will go to Zod. Zod is right here. This is my top five right here in this game. I know Sinestro could probably be on there too, but I honestly just can't bring myself to do it. Flash is just too good. Zod is just the coolest, swaggiest character in this game. He is just so cool, dude. The demon, the gunshots, the sound effects, it's all there. It's just crazy, man. The ground blast lasers, she's just so cool. Love Zod. Not like my favorite villain, but like I don't mind. I will play any guy. I would play any person who would be as swaggy as they were in this game. Um, what draws him apart? He has not the greatest range, but who needs range when you can zone, use instant air Zod charge to get out of dodge, and use trait to just cover up your mistakes. Zod's funny, not funny. He has some great corner damage. He has some great damage in general. Not mediocre. Mediocre mix. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Mediocre mix ups. Not. He has like an overhead string that he has thrown out a few times, but they don't lead into anything. Little 1-2. That's an overhead and also his 2-2 or 2-1-2 is also overhead. It's kind of like eh. So I'll put him at the top. I'll put him at the fourth spot. And with that, if he's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I think that sounds about right, honestly. I think that's kind of fair. I think for the most part, this is a pretty accurate tier list, at least in my opinion, Um, Martian number 1, Batgirl 2, Aquaman 3, Zod, blah, blah, blah. I think the only thing I would change is probably Nightwing and Zatanna and maybe like Wonder Woman. But again, I need more labbing with those characters. But other than that, that's it. This is my tier list for Injustice 1. So I hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.